And we're back in for the 2015 Gridiron Challenge at Jacksonville State University, Burgess Snow Field at JSU Stadium. I'm Carl Brady, Chase Robinson alongside, and John Holder going down to the field for today's action in matchup number 3 out of 13 different matchups today here at JSU Stadium. We've got the Gaylesville Trojans and we've got Benjamin Russell. As John was telling you, it's a 6A Benjamin Russell team, but we've got their roughly being called the JV team. Probably 9th, 10th graders, some of the B team basically going to be taking on Gaylesville. Then the full varsity going to be playing in the next game for Benjamin Russell.
And this is a big game for Benjamin Russell's JV team because they're having a chance to play on the university field, to play on TV. They're pumped up. They're getting a chance to show their coaches they've been working hard and maybe get them an opportunity to play with the big team next season. Well,
when you're a 6A team like Benjamin Russell, you have so many players on the team. Their roster, looking at their roster, it's completely covers 2 columns on a sheet of paper and in very small type. So you have a difficult time being seen even by the coaches on your own team because you kind of get lost in the mix. There's so many players, there's so many people vying for those positions, and your depth chart can get really deep. So this is an opportunity for them to get some real-time game type action and show the coaches what they can do and hopefully move up on that depth chart.
And they're getting a good opportunity to play a rebuilding team. Gaylesville, they're rebuilding after last year. They won 1 game, but this is a good opportunity for both teams. Gaylesville getting to play a tough junior varsity team and Ben Russell, and then Ben Russell getting great experience for their junior varsity team.
Yeah, it is going to be a tough game for Gaylesville. Small school up in Cherokee County, playing on a 1A level, and the JV team for Benjamin Russell, as John was saying earlier, is pretty big bunch of guys, even though they are considered JV.
That's right. We watched them warm up down on the field, and again, a huge team against a very small Gaylesville team. So we'll see what happens with that.
We'll check it out in just a moment. The kickoff is coming up right after we take a quick break, and we continue the 2015 Gridiron Challenge on TV 24. Well, it has been a little overcast throughout the day, and we're seeing some umbrellas start to come out here at JSU Stadium as we continue with the Gridiron Challenge. Our next game, the Wildcats of Benjamin Russell High School and the Trojans from Gaylesville High School. And if it might be getting just a little bit of light drizzle happening out there right now, not any full-fledged rain or anything like that we can see. But there's been all week long, the weather guys have been threatening to bring us some rain on Saturday, and so hopefully we can avoid as much of that as possible and keep these games rolling very smoothly throughout the day today. Now, if you're just joining us for this game, remember spring game rules for the Jamborees here. We'll play 2 quarters of action, 2 15-minute quarters. They are not going to do the live kickoffs here for this game. So we'll start at the 30-yard line for Benjamin Russell, and we'll start off with a handoff. Cameron Caldwell, number 12, is at quarterback. The running back is number 18, Levante Robinson. Caldwell from the shotgun, hands off to Robinson, run the right side. Plenty of running room. He'll gain to the 37-yard line. Might make it as far as the 38, but right now looks like just the 37-yard line. Making a 3rd down and 3 yards to go.
Robinson already finding some holes there in the Gaylesville defensive line.
Again, the handoff to Robinson. Good defensive job by Gaylesville as Brandon Barnes steps up, meets him right at the line of scrimmage.
First time Gaylesville opened some holes for them, but that time looked like ran into a big wall there.
4th down and 3 for the Wildcats. They are going to simulate the punt. Earlier in the day, we had the kicking game live. These 2 teams have agreed not to have a live kicking game. Helps to avoid injuries, helps to speed things up just a little bit. And we're going to move the ball to the 30-yard line for Gaylesville to take over on offense at this point in time. Statistics show that a lot of high school football injuries happen on special teams. So opportunity to avoid some of those problems. Gaylesville starting out, wideouts either side, I formation, the toss to the running back. Austin Slayton is the quarterback. Taking a look at some of the folks to look for on Gaylesville offense. These are our players to watch. Wide receiver John Bradley, Austin Slayton listed as a running back. He's also a quarterback. And Brandon Barnes, number 3 at running back as well. Austin Slayton going to be swapping out a lot with Jonathan Bradley throughout the day. This time a handoff to the first guy through. There's a fumble on the play, picked up again by Slayton. Nice awareness by Slayton. And he'll actually turn that into about a half-yard gain just beyond the 35-yard line for Gaylesville.
Definitely a good heads-up play there by Slayton. He saw the ball, grabbed it, and was able to manage to get a yard or so gain there.
3rd down and about 7 for the Trojans. Again, the ball at the 35-yard line. This I formation, Caleb Wadley is the fullback. Brandon Barnes, the tailing back. It goes to Barnes. Fumbled again. The ball is on the ground. And again, Slayton has to fall on it to save possession for the Trojans. We knew there was going to be some hard hitting going on the field out there during this game. And apparently, it's already starting to happen here in the first series for Gaylesville.
As you saw in the replay there, player from Benjamin Russell looked like his head went right into the ball and knocked it right out of the hands of Brandon Barnes.
That brought up 4th down for the Trojans. They choose to punt, so under the simulated punting conditions, they will move the ball a certain number of yards and put it on the 32-yard line. And we'll swap over possession, and Benjamin Russell will have the opportunity on offense one more time. Admission only $8. If you'd like to come out and join our Gridiron Challenge today, $8 gets you in the gate. You get to stay all day long for all of the games that we've got coming up all the way until late tonight. Caldwell, shotgun formation, handoff, right up the middle. Breaking through, breaking some tackles. He's got nothing but running room. Levante Robinson. Is he going to make it? And he will. That's a touchdown for Benjamin Russell.
You saw in the first series, he found those holes and just found it again and was able to take it off.
As we take a look at it again, just nice hole opened up for him up the middle. Shakes off a linebacker, and nothing but green between him and the goal line at that point. Yeah, we call these guys, we're describing them as the JV team, but the quarterback is coming up. He'll be a junior coming up when school starts back. Robinson will be a sophomore. The point after kick is up and good. So a quick strike here in the first quarter action between Benjamin Russell and Gaylesville. The scoring drive was one play. It covered 68 yards. Took only 19 seconds off of the clock. That's our Talladega Ford scoring drive here with the Gridiron Challenge. Other sponsors that make this possible, of course, the Calhoun County Commission and the Tourism Office for help. Thank them for helping out with us, being sponsors. It's a great opportunity for a lot of people to get to know Calhoun County a little bit as these teams from out of town come in. They bring their fans with them. And, of course, a great opportunity for the folks here at Jacksonville State to entertain some people on campus as well. Another handoff to Brandon Barnes for Gaylesville, and he will be hit right at the line of scrimmage. No gain, no loss on the play. And he tries to go up the middle with it and immediately is hammered extremely hard by Latravius Gray, a sophomore for Benjamin Russell.
Good heads-up play by Gray there. As soon as he crossed the line of scrimmage, he was there to knock him down.
I formation wideouts to either side for Slayton. Slayton goes with the handoff to Barnes again, and Barnes is wrapped up just as soon as the transfer is made. It'll be a 2-yard loss on the play back to the 28-yard line.
It's a very physical defensive line. They're crashing right into the Gaylesville players and able to get the running back pretty much as soon as he gets the ball.
3rd down and 12 yards to go for Gaylesville. The backs are split in the backfield. Slayton looks to throw, finds Jonathan Bradley. And a flag coming in late on the play. Bradley will make it out to the 42-yard line. It is enough for a 1st down. And we'll see what the call on the field is going to be. Have 2 different penalties. We have an illegal procedure penalty against the offense. We have a face mask at the end of the play against the defense. Offsetting since we don't have the referees mic'd up, not exactly sure if those were offsetting penalties. The ball shouldn't have moved.
You saw on the replay there, as soon as they were hitting the ground, Gray grabbed the face mask of the Gaylesville player.
We'll assess the penalty against the offense, move the ball back to the 28-yard line. 3rd down and 12 for the Trojans. Short pass is complete to Caleb Watley. Watley gains to the 38-yard line. About a 10-yard gain on the play. Still going to be short of the 1st down. Nice looking play by the Trojans.
It's exactly what they needed right there. Give them a little bit of momentum going into this next play here.
4th and 2. Looks like Gaylesville going to go for it in this situation. '14 Gridiron Challenge action live on TV 24, and they're going to get that 1st down. He'll be marked just shy of the 42-yard line. So let's take a look at it again. Quarterback keeps it. Austin Slayton, sophomore quarterback, just running right on up through there. The way these are listed, I'm thinking he may be a sophomore now, be a junior when the season rolls around. Fumble on the snap. Slayton has to fall on it again. Play will lose a yard and a half back to the 40-yard line.
It's the 3rd time Slayton has been there to retrieve the ball after it has been fumbled. So it's good heads up by Slayton there. He sees the ball and is able to dive down and save his team from getting that turnover.
2nd down and about 11. Slayton back under center. Toss to the running back, and we're going to have flags all over the place. Prior to the snap, Brandon Barnes, the go-to guy, the running back there.
Looks like they'll be moving the Gaylesville back.
Another false start against Gaylesville moves the ball back to the 35-yard line. So 2nd down and 16 now for the Trojans. They fake the handoff to Barnes. Slayton runs it himself around the end and then just loses the handle. Nobody knocked that one out of his hands. He just dropped the ball. But luckily, one of his offensive linemen was there to fall on it for him. He tries to switch hands, and as he does, he loses the grip. But luckily, guy trailing right behind him was able to jump on the ball.
That was Logan Hurley for Gaylesville, was able to fall on the ball and get it back for Gaylesville.
Still 3rd down and 16 for the Trojans. Slayton looks to throw, comes to the near side, almost intercepted. The intended receiver was Jonathan Bradley, but Jimmy Harrison, if that spelling is correct, either Jimmy Harrison or Jamia Harrison, stepping in front of it, almost right there, number 41, getting the interception. And the way they were positioned, had he caught that ball, he would have scored.
Absolutely.
That would have been a pick 6 for these guys.
It looked like he was trying to take off running before he could catch that ball. He
got excited.
Ready to take it to the end zone.
Like these young guys do. He saw that touchdown coming before the ball ever got to him. But we're going to simulate the punt to move the ball to the 36-yard line. And, you know, Chase, we have an interesting juxtaposition between coaches here in this game as well. Kyle Garman for Gaylesville. He's in his 3rd season at Gaylesville. And he is in his very first head coaching job. He was an assistant there, was moved up in 2013. Then you take a look at Danny Horn. He is in his 7th season with Benjamin Russell, his 27th season as a head coach. So an old veteran coach who's been around a long, long time against a new coach. And so you got an interesting juxtaposition between coachings.
And, you know, Gaylesville being a small school, you don't have as many players to choose from. And last year, the Gaylesville Trojans going 2-7, but again, that was better than the year before. So Garmin's definitely brought them forward.
Waiting to see what's happening on the field. Placed the ball in the wrong spot, the wrong marks. We got a 41-yard line is the mark right now. 1st and 5 is the indication from the 41. This handoff to number 34, Sabrinsky McElrath. He'll gain to the 45-yard line to make it 2nd and 1. Second down and 1 for Benjamin Russell. Cameron Caldwell at quarterback. It was a complete pass. Apparently, and a fumble. Let's take a look at that again and see exactly what the call is going to be here. Complete pass. He's down. He's got the ball knocked loose by Gaylesville. And recovered by Gaylesville. Looks like Jacob Reynolds.
Reynolds was able to snatch the ball away while he was running past, and then good heads-up play. He fell right on the ball and was able to get it for the Trojans.
1st down now for the Trojans at their own 41-yard line. 1st and 10. Benjamin Russell up 7-0 so far as we near the 5-minute mark to go in this first quarter of action. Hand off to Barnes. Barnes going to be hit just as he tries to cross the line of scrimmage and lose about a half-yard on the play.
After that fumble recovery there, Gaylesville's really want to make a statement here on offense and try to get something done.
Second down, just more than 10 to go. Wideouts to either side for Slayton. Fakes the give to Barnes. He's going to keep it himself. Shakes a tackler and will get almost to the 42-yard line. A gain of about 1.5 yards on that play. Still going to be third down and 9, roughly 9 to go from the 41-yard line.
This is a very tough physical defense that Gaylesville's running into. Probably much more physical than they'll see in their 1A play next season with this Benjamin Russell team here.
The toss to Barnes. Barnes looks for a place to run to, and he's going to gain about a half yard to the 42-yard line, bring up third down for the Trojans. This kind of a challenge is good for your team, though. If you can avoid the injuries playing a bigger and stronger team, it's a good toughening experience for your guys, for them to see what's out there, to see what it's like to play against a bigger team. Because if you do well and you get to the playoffs, you are even as a 1A team like Gaylesville, you're going to face some extremely tough competition when you get into the playoffs. And I know a lot of baseball coaches and basketball coaches on the collegiate level and on the high school level, as we simulate the punt here, it was fourth down for Gaylesville. We're simulating the punt, moving the ball to the 28-yard line, it looks like. A lot of coaches in the early part of the season, before they get into the region play, before they get into conference play, they will play bigger and better teams to make their team tougher.
That's right. That's the only way to get better, is to play tougher competition. I'm sure Coach Garman was all about playing this team, and that's the only way to make his team better, is to get out here with this big physical Benjamin Russell 6A team.
Nice tackle.
Even though it's their junior varsity team, they're still a good football team.
Cameron Caldwell, quarterback, fakes the give, decides to keep it himself, and then he is going to be met. Look at there, a nice tackle by number 3, Brandon Barnes. Good job for that Gaylesville defense. The gain on the play went to the 33-yard line. This time the give goes to Robinson. Robinson running into a pile of folks, but still being pushed right on past that first down marker out to the 42-yard line. First down for the Wildcats.
As you see on the replay there, he carried the team about 4 yards there. 4 or 5 Trojans on him. He carried them 4 or 5 yards there, as you see. Grabbed the first down.
First down at the 42 for Ben Russell. Caldwell looks like he's going to keep it and come around the end, then just kind of tosses the ball forward a little bit to Hal Coker. And I'm not sure Coker was ready for that toss to come to him. Looking at the Gaylesville sidelines there, you see Kyle Garman in the sunglasses there. 8-12 in his 2 seasons. This is his 3rd season, his first head coaching job of his career at Gaylesville. Again, a handoff to Levante Robinson. And he'll run into a nice strong screen of Trojans right at the line of scrimmage. Only a yard gain on the play. Third down at the 43-yard line. 3rd and 9 for the Wildcats. This first quarter, first half of action on this game, moving very quickly as everybody keeping the ball on the ground pretty much. Except for this time, a nice pass from Caldwell. Hal Coker, the receiver, he'll get into the 38-yard line. That is a first down for the Wildcats. Coker came all the way across from the other side of the field. And Caldwell put the ball right in his hands, and a nice gain after the catch for Coker as well.
He was able to secure the ball, take off, and check off some defenders on his way as well.
And we're going to have a timeout on the field right now with 1:17 remaining. Gaylesville taking this timeout. Under our rules, each team gets one timeout in the quarter. Right now, Ben Russell leading Gaylesville 7-0 as we continue with the 2015 Gridiron Challenge. The 2015 Gridiron Challenge from Jacksonville State University. Burgess Snowfield at JSU Stadium. Underway, game number 3 of our matchup today. And we are coming back to action. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line for the Wildcats of Benjamin Russell. And I think we have a delay. No, it's not going to be a delay.
I think it'll be illegal substitution.
There we go. Illegal substitution. Too many people on the field for Gaylesville. So Ben Russell gets a free 5 yards to the 33-yard line. 1st down, 5 to go for Ben Russell. Caldwell takes the snap. Handoff. This time goes to number 89, DJ Young. Gaylesville strings him out. Doesn't let him turn up the field too much. And he actually loses a yard back to the 34-yard line. Good job by Gaylesville to keep Young from turning and squaring up and going upfield.
Absolutely. They saw him coming. They were able to get him over to the sideline and get him down.
Second down and 6 for the Wildcats. And we're going to have a flag and a whistle just as the ball is snapped. See what the officials have to say here. This was going to go against Gaylesville as well. 5 yards being marked off. Offsides or encroachment against the defense. And that moves the ball to the 29-yard line and makes it 2nd down and only 1 to go for the Wildcats. Shotgun formation. Caldwell with the handoff. Sabrinsky McElrath. He'll pick up the 1st down and a little bit more as he gets to the 24-yard line, almost into the 24-yard line. And there you see the Benjamin Russell coach, Danny Horn. He has 6 state titles when he was head coach of Clay County. He is in his 27th year as a head coach. Check out that career record, 265 and 69. 7th year as the coach at Ben Russell. And we'll see a pass is dropped, hit the receiver right in the numbers. Number 85, Carson Dark, the intended receiver on that play. Second down and 10. Just inside the 25-yard line, nearly the 24 for Benjamin Russell. Down to 19 seconds in this first quarter of action. Again, pass goes over to number 85 and over his head. A little bit overthrown that time. That's Carson Dark. 2 times in a row they've gone to him.
He put a hand up trying to get that one, but still a little bit out of reach.
16 seconds again. We're playing 2 15-minute quarters. A regular quarter is 12 minutes in high school football. So basically 2 15-minute halves being spring games. So these teams are treating this like their 2-minute drill going into halftime. Here's a handoff to Levante Robinson. Robinson will gain to near the 20-yard line.
Here you see Robinson again. He's really done a good job of finding those holes. He's in the 10th grade this year. He'll be a junior next year, and I'm telling you, he's getting up into his senior year. You'll be seeing him a lot on the Benjamin Russell varsity team because he's very fast and able to find those holes and get through the defense.
Benjamin Russell calls a timeout here. Just made a couple of quick changes and sent the kids right back out there. Gaylesville going all the way over to the sidelines. Looks like 9 seconds remaining before we take the break. The break between quarters is going to be 2 minutes long, not a full simulated halftime of 20 minutes or 15 minutes or anything like that. They'll get a 2-minute break, just basically like it is between quarters. But we will treat it like a halftime. They will, we did in the earlier games anyway. We did a kickoff just like we were starting the second half, changing possessions. But 9 seconds to go. Benjamin Russell needed the time to set up a field goal. Kicking from the 27-yard line, it'll be a 37-yard field goal. And it is going to be wide and no good. The kicker is number 88. That's Dylan Monkus. And as you can see, there was no rush because the kicking game, the parts of the kicking game that are live are semi-live. We're not rushing, not taking a chance getting anyone injured in the special teams play. So field goals, extra points, they're doing those with no rush. Punting and kickoffs, they're not doing a live game at all. They're doing a simulated kick. So now we turn the ball over to Gaylesville. It'll be first down for Gaylesville at their own 30-yard line. Time enough to do one play. And in that one play, they hand it off to Brandon Barnes. He fumbles the ball. It's picked up by Benjamin Russell. Looks like Tyree Gray. And no, that's going to be Jaden Tuck, it looks like. Jaden Tuck. And as you see it here, the ball comes loose. Still comes loose, still on the ground. Tuck picks it up, and there's nowhere to go but to the end zone for this young man. And as time runs out off the clock, Benjamin Russell gets that touchdown, and now they get to try the point after.
Tuck was in a very good position. Both teams fumbled it around, but he was right there able to pick it up and take it to the end zone to put his team up 13-0.
Dylan Monkus is set for the point after. So we wait on the Trojans to get their defense set and get the officials in place and set. We'll do this point after try and then take it to the break, as the time has run off the clock here. And there's the point after. It is going to be pushed wide as well. It was high enough, went all the way up on top of the field house, but it was wide. So as we finish up this first quarter of action here at the Gridiron Challenge, the score 13-0. Benjamin Russell with the lead over the Gaylesville Trojans. We'll take a break, and then when we come back, we'll go to the field with John Holder and a special guest. Stay with us. We are back. The 2015 Gridiron Challenge. Benjamin Russell's JV against the Gaylesville Trojans. Let's go down to the field because John Holder has a special guest, a former player from Benjamin Russell, who's now going to be playing here at JSU. John?
Thank you, Carl. Bryant Horn, if you keep up with high school football, you know the name Bryant Horn. Bryant played at Benjamin Russell a couple of years ago, graduating in 2014, one of the top quarterbacks in the state in any classification. He was in the North-South All-Star football game and now playing here, redshirted last year as a quarterback here at Jacksonville State. And if the name Horn sounds familiar, yes, indeed, he is the son of legendary Hall of Fame Ben Russell head coach Danny Horn. Bryant, glad to have you with us here today at JSU. I know this is new for the Ben Russell folks, but it's not new for you. This is where you live now.
Yes, I came home. It's good to be here. It was a good first year here. Had a lot of fun playing football, and it's good to see these kids out here getting a good experience of what college kind of stadium feels like, and just good spring environment. So good to be here.
You had to be excited when you found out your alma mater and your dad's team was going to come up here and play at Jack State.
Yeah, well, it gets a little exposure to some of the key players to maybe coming up here in a few years and helping the Jacksonville out football team. So, And I had a couple little tie-ins, maybe getting them up here, but but it's a good experience for the kids.
Going back to your playing career down at Ben Russell, you were a quarterback on some really good teams down there. Your dad's done a phenomenal job at Ben Russell, and you've done a really fantastic job as a quarterback down there and helping bring that team back as part of some of those great teams down there.
Yeah, we started off rough when we first got there, a couple 1-9 seasons, my 9th grade year, but we got the tide turning, and the kids started buying into the program, and new offensive system really helped out, and then we just started rolling there, and it's good when you start rolling, everybody buys in, it goes down to the high school, JV, middle school, everybody starts winning, you get a taste, and you just can't let go of it.
A couple more questions for you. One, we want to talk about Jacksonville State this year. A lot of high expectations for John Gross and the Gamecocks this year.
Yeah, John Gross and his coach staff, they really do a good job of coaching. We got a good group coming in. And we did lose a couple key seniors, but we have a good group replacing them, and we should have a pretty good year.
Let's talk about your dad's team. We'll see the varsity coming up in our next game against a really quality opponent in Muscle Shoals. What's your dad say about this addition of the Ben Russell team in 2015?
Well, he always has high expectations. I mean, he don't expect nothing less than the best, but we'll see how it goes today, and he's expecting a good run this year.
One of the great quarterbacks in high school football in East Alabama and this part of the state for a long time was Bryant Horn at Ben Russell, now here at Jacksonville State, guys.
Thank you very much, John. We've been watching the action on the field, and we have Gaylesville with the ball. It is 3rd down and 4 after a penalty for Benjamin Russell. The ball now on the 36-yard line. Had a couple of running plays that gained him about a yard or two, and then the penalty. This time, the toss goes to Slayton, who's moved to a running back position. We told you that Slayton was going to be swapping time with Jonathan Bradley in the quarterback spot. So Bradley is in at quarterback at this point for this half, and Slayton has moved to a running back position, and he's going to lose 5 yards back to the 31-yard line to make it 4th down and 9 for the Trojans.
It's good to be flexible. You can depend on your quarterback to run when Bradley's in, and then your running back can also be the quarterback. So flexibility is always key.
And we're going to simulate that 4th down punt for the Trojans here. So you see the officials will move the ball down the field. And again, as you see the officials there, we've mentioned it a couple times over the past couple of days. These spring games are a good training ground for the officials as well. They are being evaluated here from their officials association. They have folks who are watching them, evaluating them, giving them advice and coaching to the officials as well as they go through all of these games over the course of the 3 days that we are here with these spring jamboree games.
Teams aren't the only ones that get evaluated and have camps and spend their summer working. Officials do that as well. They'll have camps all summer to get ready for next season.
New quarterback in now for Benjamin Russell as well. Number 15, Tyler Watts. And that was Sabrinsky McElrath on the carry there that loses 3 yards back to the 36-yard line. Started out on the 39. So now it is 2nd and 13 from the 36-yard line for Benjamin Russell. Shotgun formation for Watts. Again with the handoff to McElrath. He'll gain about 1.5 yards. He'll get really, really close to the 38-yard line. Give him about a 2-yard gain on that play. 3rd down and 11 now for Benjamin Russell.
It's the first time Benjamin Russell has not really been able to push the ball up the field. They've been doing a great job of running the ball, and this time they got a little more ground to cover here.
Shotgun formation, wideouts to either side. Again, a handoff to McElrath, and again, he immediately runs into trouble. This Gaylesville defensive line really starting to step up here in this section of the game, and it's going to be a 1-yard loss on the play back to the 37. Now 4th down and nearly 12 to go. And Benjamin Russell going to simulate the punt.
You're exactly right about Gaylesville's defense. It's like watching a new team come out here. They're doing a great job right here starting this this second quarter of playing some pretty strong defense on this Benjamin Russell team.
We're seeing a lot of good work by number 57, Logan Hurley, for the Trojans. He was listed on some of our notes. He's a middle linebacker, as one of the players for us to keep an eye on as well. Coming up next, Muscle Shoals will take on the Benjamin Russell varsity players. And there's Muscle Shoals getting a little warm up outside the stadium right now, getting loose. Gaylesville takes back over on offense. And immediately, flags are going to fly as soon as the ball is snapped. We have Jonathan Bradley at quarterback again. Austin Slayton in the running back slot. It's going to be illegal motion against the Trojans. They'll back it up 5 yards. They were starting from the 33-yard line. That'll move it back to the 28-yard line. Repeat first down, so 1st and 15 for the Trojans on offense.
One thing Coach Garman's is going to want to build on for next season is the discipline for his team. There's been a lot of penalties today, but that's something that comes with the spring. You got some new guys out there that maybe not have played before, so discipline is going to be key this summer and cut down on the penalties.
Hand off to Brandon Barnes this time. He will almost make it back to the line of scrimmage before being swarmed by the Wildcats. It almost looks like that I formation, to me, is lining up not far enough back. And the quarterback is not having enough time to turn around and give the ball to the running back, because the running back's there before he gets turned around.
Right.
There may be a method to the madness there for that, but you see where the fullback is just right behind the quarterback. The running back's a little bit further back. And that's Slayton that was in that running back position who takes the toss. And he'll get across to about the 32-yard line to bring up 3rd down and 11.
This strong Benjamin Russell defense, like you said, as soon as the running back gets the ball, it's like they're meeting the defense right there, that stonewall defense that Benjamin Russell has been providing pretty much throughout this whole game.
Looks to fake the toss and almost intercepted. The pass is going to be short and incomplete, kind of wobbly. I think Bradley took a lick just as he was throwing the ball. The intended receiver was Jacob Reynolds. Take a look at the schedule coming up for 1A Gaylesville Trojans. Chase, tell us a little bit about the schedule.
They'll open up at the last weekend of August at Sandrock, which we'll see Sandrock a little later on this afternoon. And then they'll head to Eider and then start their region play September 11th with Spring Garden, Valley Head, another region game. And then they'll take a break and play Gaston, which again we'll see them as well a little bit later on, and then more of their tough region, Jacksonville Christian, Woodville, Coosa Christian, and Cedar Bluff, always a good football team. And then they'll take a break from region play before the playoffs and go over to Spring Garden.
There's Gaston in the stands. I know you said they'll take a break and play Gaston. Take a break from region play to play Gaston, but playing Gaston is never taking a break.
Right. Gaston's always had that tough
especially with
football.
Swain Morris back in the head coaching position there at Gaston. And we've got a fumble on the play for Benjamin Russell here, and we'll let them uncover the pile and see who has control of the ball. And it looks like Gaylesville recovered the fumble. Let's take a look at this play again. You can see the carry there by number 31. Just gets the ball knocked out. That's A.J. Thompson on the carry. The ball gets knocked out of his hands, and it looks like Colby Scott was able to cover up the ball and be on the bottom of that pile there and recover the fumble for a turnover and make it first and goal, or first down rather, at the 43-yard line for the Trojans. Toss goes back to Slayton. It goes over his shoulder. He has to pick it up and is immediately met by the defense. Big loss on that play back to the 48-yard line. Take a look at this toss. It just goes errant. Just wasn't right into his hands. Hit him on the shoulder pads and bounced off his shoulder pads.
He was already taken off, and the ball just didn't quite meet him there, and it'll be a big loss for the Trojans.
About a 9-yard loss for Gaylesville, so it makes it second down and 19. This time the handoff right up the middle will gain about 2.5 yards. They will get back across midfield, and that is Brandon Barnes on the carry there. They'll get across to the 49-yard line to bring up third down. That's something I'm noticing again with Gaylesville. When Barnes is in at the tailback position, he lines up in a different place than Slayton lines up. Slayton lines up another yard or two deeper than Barnes does, and I'm sure that can be confusing for the quarterback there if you're expecting somebody to be in a position when you toss the ball to him, and there's something different. And speaking of tossing the ball, pass is intercepted by Benjamin Russell, thrown right into the hands of the defender, and he will return it back to the 41-yard line. Take a look again.
There you see Tyler McKitchen there. Landed right in his hands, bobbled it, but he was able to grasp the ball and gain some yardage there and head the other way for the Wildcats.
A timing route there basically for the Trojans as Jonathan Bradley just looks up, throws the ball to where the receiver is supposed to be, and didn't have time to notice that there was a defender standing in his way, and it just went right into the hands there of Tyler McMeekin. First down now for Benjamin Russell from the 41-yard line. Tyler Watts, quarterback again, shotgun formation. Fakes the handoff, decides to keep it, and he will gain into the 37-yard line, almost the 36-yard line. Watts, a sophomore when school gets started back.
Tyler Watts is a good name for a quarterback.
A very familiar name,
yes.
In the quarterback position for people around here. A high snap, Watts has to fall on it, and a major mistake and loss for the Wildcats. That'll take them all the way back into Gaylesville, or into their own territory, back to the 47-yard line. It's always a danger when you're using a shotgun formation of having that happen, of having an errant snap that goes high or goes wide, and your quarterback ends up having to chase it 15 yards behind him.
And there's really nothing you can do about that. If it goes high, you can jump after it, but if it goes over you, all you can do
Again, a second time, and now this was even worse than the first. This is going to take them all the way back to the 26-yard line. Wow.
Colby Scott there for Gaylesville. He was right there ready to make the tackle as soon as the Wildcat player touched the ball. He was there and able to knock him down.
This was a major loss. The original line of scrimmage was the 41-yard line of Gaylesville, and in two plays, two bad snaps, they go all the way back to the 26-yard line, and it brings up fourth down and the simulated punt, which gives Gaylesville some pretty good field position at their own 44-yard line. As you see the Trojans on the side getting their strategy and their plays ready to go. Inside of 4 minutes to go in this second quarter of action. typically final half of action, just as if you're down at the end of the game here.
And with 3:38 to go, down 13-0, you still have that chance to make a statement here to come back and put some points on the board.
Bradley hands off to number 3, Brandon Barnes, who powers his way across midfield. Doesn't quite make it all the way to the 49, but he does get across the 50-yard line. Gains about 6 yards on the play. Now 2nd down and 4 for the Trojans. I'm not sure what kind of confusion happened there. I think maybe just a mishandled snap, but Bradley almost turns it into a 1st down. He'll gain up to the 47-yard line, just shy of a 1st down, but everybody started moving except for Bradley, and then he picked up the ball and moved forward with it.
A little miscommunication, but still was able to pick up some yardage there.
It's like Bradley, everybody had the snap count maybe except for the quarterback. He wasn't quite ready for the ball to be snapped to him yet. 3rd down, a yard to go for Gaylesville. Bradley just going to keep it. And a nice gain there. He'll gain 4 yards to the 42-yard line to pick up the 1st down. Take a look at this.
See, Bradley just takes it in himself. He's able to push through that line about 3 or 4 yards and get the 1st down.
You know, a lot of times that play just barely gets you enough yardage to get the 1st down, but he was able to churn out about 4 yards on the play. So again, 1st down for Gaylesville at the 42-yard line. This time, toss sweep comes to the near side. Plenty of running room. One last defender to get by. And it's going to be a touchdown for the Trojans. Number 27, Dawson White. Take a look at the replay. Nice toss sweep coming to the near side.
He was able to take off and had great blocking from his offensive line. They made it possible here for him to take it all the way into the end zone and put some points on the board. With 2 minutes left here, it's exactly what they wanted.
Hal Coker almost knocked him out of bounds at the 1-yard line, but he was able to stay on his feet and stay in bounds and get in there just right. Point after attempt for the Trojans. Brandon Barnes will be kicking. And it will be no good. So with 2 minutes remaining in this game, 13-6 is your score. Benjamin Russell has the lead as you look at this touchdown one more time. 3 plays, covered 66 yards, and took 48 seconds off the clock. The Talladega Ford scoring drive for the Gaylesville Trojans, and that is one of the nicer looking plays of the entire game so far for Gaylesville.
They had a great series and did it fast, and that's what they wanted right there. Get down the field fast to get points on the board, try to catch up here with 2 minutes left. And again, that's probably the best we've seen from this Gaylesville team all afternoon.
This end of game type drill, get on the board fast, catch up, see if you can catch up before the game is over with. Benjamin Russell, and that's the kind of defense you're going to need to do that kind of thing as well. Handoff for Benjamin Russell to number 47, Craig Abercrombie, and he is met behind the line of scrimmage just as soon as he gets the ball. And again, it's number 4, Caleb Watley, making the play.
Watley did a great job wrapping him up, taking him to the ground. That's exactly the kind of defense that they need right now, keeping them on their side of the field so they can stay close to their end zone to put more points on the board for them.
2-yard loss to the 28-yard line. Handoff this time goes over the left side, and that is Orlando Henderson getting in the game and gaining all the way to the 45-yard line. That's a 1st down. Check out this replay. Handoff, finds a little gap on the left side there, breaks a couple of tackles, drags a couple of defenders along with him. But a good run by the senior. He's going to be a senior there, Orlando Henderson. 1st down at the 45-yard line. Tyler Watts at quarterback. High snap again, has to struggle with it a little bit, and that gives the Gaylesville defense time to get back there, and they'll be credited with a sack back at the 41-yard line. A 4-yard loss on the play. Second down and 14 now.
This Gaylesville team on both sides of the ball has really stepped up in the second quarter. Defensive-wise, they've been great getting across the line and wrapping them up and taking them down. And again, a great series for Gaylesville last time around.
30 seconds remaining in this matchup. Watts takes another snap over his head, and he'll fall on it back at the 27-yard line. Another major loss on that mishap by the center there. I bet he is going to be practicing his snaps all summer long, even out in the backyard.
And that's what these games are for. They're learning experiences and gives the coach an opportunity to see what they can work on, and that's definitely something the coach will be, Coach Horn will be pointing out to the center there. They're going to be working on the snapping.
And they let the clock wind on down, and this matchup is over already. This one has gone by very, very quickly, and that's going to wrap up this particular matchup between the Gaylesville Trojans and the Benjamin Russell JV or B team. 13-6 is the final score here in this spring game. Benjamin Russell taking the win there. Coming up, you're going to see the Benjamin Russell full varsity, and they're going to be taking on Muscle Shoals. So this is going to be a game to watch. Two powerhouse teams going at it full varsity, full speed for 2 long quarters here at the Gridiron Challenge.
And that's exactly John was talking about in the pregame. This next game you're about to see has the potential to be a Super 7 matchup. These are two great teams, Ben Russell out of the south and Muscle Shoals out of the north.
Let's go down to the field with John Holder.
All right, Coach Garman from Gaylesville. This was kind of a unique, I don't know if I've ever seen this before, where a varsity played maybe the JV, second line players from Benjamin Russell. This was a unique matchup today.
Yeah, when Coach Felder called me, he said, do you care who you play in a jamboree? And I was like, it's just a half. And he said, well, about Benjamin Russell? I was like, oh, man. He said, but then he said they're JV. I said, oh, yeah, we'll probably do that. So, you know, these spring games, these jamborees aren't about who you're playing. They're about you. You know, and getting better yourself, and most importantly, find out what you got to work on for the next year.
I think this was probably a good experience, not only the setting, but also the opponent. I think that was probably a very good experience for your team.
Yeah, you know, being a 6A school JV, they're probably as good as anybody on our region. So, you know, it was like seeing a good region opponent for sure.
Good luck. We'll be seeing you all during football season coming up, and that's just around the corner.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Coach Garman from Gaylesville. Good showing here today, guys, against the Ben Russell JV team.
Absolutely, and I think he said it best in the way to describe a spring game. This is not about who you're playing. This game is about you and discovering your own strengths and weaknesses. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back, talk a little bit more about this game, and then set you up for Muscle Shoals and the Benjamin Russell varsity squad. We'll be back to the Gridiron Challenge.